In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the brake master cylinder on this Jeep Grand Cherokee. Let's get into it. Take this panel off here. There's some weather stripping here. Just use a trim tool, get the clip underneath here, pop that up. Just pull that to the side. You don't have to take it off completely. This cover we want to take off. There's a plastic screw right here. Take that off. That slides out of the way. You can see the electrical connector right here. You just want to push down on the tab. Slide that out. It's just a tab there. Disconnect that, set that aside. You can move the pipe to the side if you need to. Now just to collect some of the fluid, I'm just going to put a rag down underneath here, so it doesn't go all over the place. It should be good. Take a 14mm line wrench, or even a regular wrench if you don't have a line wrench, but it's a little easier if you use a line wrench. Just loosen these up. All right, those are loose. Using a 13mm socket, take the nuts off. The one's way down there. One's a little tricky to get to. Careful, try not to lose that one. Just grab the master. And it just slides out of the way. Before you install the master into the vehicle, you want to bench bleed the master. Take the correct fitting with a hose. They do make special toolkits that have these in them. And just snug that down. It doesn't have to be too tight. That's good. With it in the vise, you want to take the cap, pop that open, install these lines. Here, make sure you fill it with the appropriate brake fluid. Right on here, it says to use .3 for this one. And then we're just going to use a Phillips head screwdriver and just pump the master. That's just going to get all the air out. It's okay if some of the fluid comes out. So just keep pumping it till you see very little bubbles over here, almost no bubbles. That looks pretty good. Pull it out of the vise. Put the cap back on. You can bring this over to the vehicle and take these off, or just take them off now. Just be careful, you might drip some of the fluid. Be careful not to get any of the brake fluid on the paint of the vehicle. It will ruin the paint, so make sure you wash it off with soapy water if you do get any on the paint fairly quickly. And you could even Put your fingers over the holes and bring this over the vehicle. And just slide it in place. It's okay to drip some fluid. If you have a rag down there, just make sure the rag doesn't get in the way. Get this lined up. There we go. Just push it on a little bit. Get one of the nuts on. Before we put the other nut on, we're just going to get the hoses, the lines started, just so it stops leaking. And we'll just snug these up, not too tight. We just want to stop the fluid from leaking. It's a little easier to use a 14mm wrench instead of a line wrench. Just getting them back on. Right. It's good. I'll take the other nut, get that one started. It'd be ideal if you have a socket that has a magnet in it, or you can use some tape just to hold it in there, but try not to drop it. Get it on the stud. All right, and once that's started, just go back and forth equally, side to side, bringing it down. Now we're going to torque these nuts to 18 foot-pounds. Now just tighten the lines down a little bit more. When you go to torque the lines, you're going to torque these to 14 foot-pounds. But we're going to bleed these at the lines first, and then you're going to have to bleed them at each wheel as well. You want to take the cap off, make sure you top off the brake fluid, use the appropriate type. Fill it up to the max. Put the cap back on. Now we're going to have an assistant help pump the pedal. Go ahead and pump the pedal like 3 or 4 times. And then hold it. While they're holding it, I'm just going to crack the line free. A little bit of fluid came out. Oh, a little bit of air bubbles. We'll close it up again. All right, go ahead, pump it. Nice and slow. And hold it. Crack it free while they're holding it. No more bubbles in that one, but we'll do it one more time. Go ahead, pump it. And hold it. Crack it free. No bubbles. So that one's good. Close that up. You can torque that to 14 foot-pounds. And then go ahead and pump it. And then hold it. We'll do the back one. Crack it free. A little bit of air bubbles. Close it up. Go ahead, pump it. And hold it. A little more air bubbles. Close it up. All right, pump it. And hold it. Still more air bubbles. Close it up. Go ahead, pump it. And hold it. Close that up. That's good. Then you can torque that to 14 foot-pounds as well. Go ahead, get off the brake. Then you can bleed the brakes conventionally at each wheel. I'll just clean this off, a little brake parts cleaner. After you've finished doing all the bleeding, you can take this off, double check the level, make sure the level's fine. Now connect the connector. Get that lined up. Lock it in. Move that hose back to where it's supposed to naturally sit. Put the cover on. Put this screw in. And the weather strip. Lock it in place.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.